tumekuja, tumekuja, tumekuja,
tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja,
tumekuja,
tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja. Embedded,
the way you feel,
embedded,
sing it far and near,
embedded.
tell the world we're here.
Come to sing,
We've come to say, lift your voice on high,
embedded,
let it fill the sky,
embedded.
shout it loud that we have come to sing.
Tumekuja kusifu, tumekuja kusifu, tumekuja kusifu, tumekuja,
tumekuja,
tumekuja kusifu, tumekuja kusifu, tumekuja kusifu, tumekuja. Sifuni,
Sing it all around,
sifuni,
let the earth breathe out,
sifuni.
let your joy abound.
Have come to
We
praise,
have come to praise, let your voices ring,
sifuni,
hear the men going,
sifuni.
shout it loud that we have come to praise.
Tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja kuimba, tumekuja, tumekuja kuimba, we have come to sing. Tumekuja kuimba.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We're really glad to see you today. My name is Douglas Futch. I'm a member of the Emerson Choir, as you saw, the Choir Leadership Committee, the Worship Team, and the Endowment Committee. I offer a special welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time, and either in person or online. We're really glad to see you, and we're looking forward to get to know you. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of each and every person through anti-racism, anti-oppression, supporting the LGBTQIA+ community, working for reproductive justice, voting rights, and other issues as the world calls us to side with love. We seek to build beloved community not only here, but in our surrounding areas. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming to the pulpit our recently appointed Director of Family Ministries, Michael Lukens. Michael received his bachelor's degree in elementary education from Brigham Young University. After graduation, he taught 4th and 5th grade in Washington State. Because he had a wife and 3 small sons to support, however, he was forced to leave that profession that he loved and move into the corporate world to make more money. Because you see, at the time, a full-time teacher salary was so minuscule as to keep his family living below the federal poverty line. Even though he had to leave the teaching profession, he was able to continue working with children and teens through his volunteer efforts in the Mormon Church, in which he grew up and where he maintained an active membership. He led various children's and teens organizations for many years. Later, after he left the Mormon Church, he served as the room mom for our youngest daughter's third grade class at her school here in Woodstock. I'm sure you can imagine more than a few heads spinning in the PTA that year, but his tenure was very successful and he earned the respect of even his most ardent doubters. We came to Emerson only a few months before Beth Klein retired. Michael reached out to Reverend Deborah then and offered to be a help in any way that he could during the transition until a new director of religious education could be hired. His love for helping children flourished and was reignited, and when the position posted, he applied. He was hired as the new director of family ministries in May, and I can tell you, I haven't seen him this excited about a job ever. Right. Welcome, Michael. Today, our chalice lighting. Each Sunday, we light our chalice. It's a symbol of Unitarian Universalism and a reminder of our commitment to be a beacon of love and hope to all. Today, Natalie Holmes, one of our senior youth, will share our chalice lighting words and light our chalice.
All right. Our chalice lighting words this morning are by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Give the ones you love wings to fly, roots to come back, and reasons to stay.
Thank you, Natalie. Now, in the spirit of beloved community, let us greet and welcome each other to worship as we share our congregational affirmation. We need not think alike to love alike. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around and offer a greeting to others. And for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourself or unmute to say hello. Now, our opening hymn today will be hymn number 118 in the gray hymnal, This Little Light of Mine. Please rise if you are able. Brings back my gospel days.
I hear you.
Our Share the Basket partner for August is the Extension. Located in Marietta, the Extension serves adults successfully dealing with substance use challenges and who are experiencing homelessness in Cobb County. They will soon have the grand opening of their new men's residence. Mark Cobb, one of our members, will be participating in the upcoming open house, and then we'll begin holding drum circles in the extension. This month we are raising money to purchase drums for the residents. Through their unique process, their residents gain the skills they need to recover and lead healthy, productive lives. Emerson's own Tyler Driver is the Extension's Executive Director and would welcome your support through donations or volunteer opportunities. Please offer a donation in the basket or by phone as you are able. Information is included in your order of service. All donations, unless otherwise specified, are shared equally with Emerson and with our partner organization.
Your gifts are received with gratitude and with care for this community, for the community at large and the world in which we live. We come now to a time of joys and sorrows and concerns, and I am the newer minister, and I still see faces that I have not met. I am Reverend Christinia Branum-Martin, and it is such a pleasure to be with you today, and I look forward to meeting all of you in person that I have not met yet. We're shifting this week to continue the use of water. We started with rocks and stones for joys and concerns during our water ceremony, and we're going to stick with it for a little while. The stones themselves are heavy, and they have weight, like the things we carry in our lives sometimes in our heart. And the water receives those worries with ease and offers a calm place for them to be. Each week you are invited to write a joy or a sorrow or concern in the book that's at the back of the sanctuary. Today that book is not complete. There's nothing there. Yet I know that we are holding in our heart the state of Hawaii and that which they are going through. And each week here in this community, we put 3 stones in the water. We start with 1 stone in honor of the Cherokee and the Muskogee nations of indigenous peoples who lived on this land here before us. We put another in for those wrongly enslaved who worked this land, and for all those hurting in conflicts around the globe. So I hold up those memories, and I hold up those in Hawaii, and I hold up the joys and concerns that are carried in our hearts all the time for those we love, those who perhaps are dealing with chronic pain, sadness, grief, and the joys of being together in community again in this year. Would you put one last stone for those things unshared? Would you join with me with the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness that is printed in your order of service? Let's read these together. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm or suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be. And now we have something really fun.
Yes, we do.
Together.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Lukens, and as you heard from my husband, I'm the Director of Family Ministries. This morning, we are going to welcome students who are turning 8 years old and older or are new to our congregation. So this is an opportunity for us as a congregation to strengthen our belief in the third UU principle of acceptance of one another and encouraging spiritual growth as an intergenerational community. As I call the names of the students we are welcoming to worship this morning, I would like their parents to join them right up here next to the two of us. Clark Thomas, Garnet Branum-Martin, come right on up here, and Clara Douglas.
Unitarian Universalist research studies show that there are 15 religious habits which are indicators that encourage a long religious life, one that leads to active Unitarian Universalist faith. And one of the strongest influences in faith development is attending worship services regularly, but not just being there as a quiet person on the pew, being told to shush and not wiggle or make a noise, but instead being actively and openly welcomed. Emerson is a congregation that formally welcomes children into worship and fosters and supports each child's UU faith development, including them in worship with open arms.
All right, at this time, I'd like everyone to take out the insert in your order of service.
Go get yours.
Just as everyone here has a part in welcoming each child, everyone has a part to say in our welcome. So Reverend Christina and I will start reading each group's words, and you can join us when it is your turn. First, we will start with those on the dais, the choir, worship leaders, Kathy Middleman and Bruce King. Next, it'll be with the parents who are standing up here. Then with the children and youth that are in our congregation. So guys, make us proud, right? Be louder than everybody else. All right, and then Clark, Garnet, and Clara, by the end of this, our hope is that you have no doubt that you are welcomed here. All right, I'd like everyone to stand as you are able. And please pull out the insert. And we will start and join in sharing these words of welcome. And we'll start with our music team. We welcome you and invite you to sing with joy as we raise our voices together in community and also listen with your heart when we share special music in this special time and place, in peace, together. All right, parents, are you ready? We welcome you and offer our promise to be here with you in patience and love in this special time and place, in peace together. All right, guys, let's make us proud. Ready? We welcome you to our community of faith that learns from listening with not just our ears, but our hearts and minds too in this special time and place, in peace together. All right, congregation, we welcome you and offer our friendship and help as you join us in this special time and place, in peace together. All right, ready?
Yeah.
From us, we welcome you and promise to be here to explore the wonders of the mysteries of life and help you find safety and hope in someday in this special time and place, in peace together. Congratulations and welcome to worship service. Reverend Christina has a gift for each of you from us to help you learn more about the 7 principles and the 6 sources. And guys, there's stickers in the back. Check them out. All right, well, welcome, and you all may go seated.
Go get it back. Go get it back. Right there.
All right, your turn, Reverend Christina.
We're going to turn to our story for all ages now, and this Sunday is a really, really fun one. It's our backpack blessing. And our backpack blessing is a time for us to give to the children and youth, and maybe even some of you who carry bags around, some things to put in there that would come from this community. We carry bags throughout our week and for many reasons. And if you've got a bag, go ahead and bring it up now. Garnet, you've got a backpack. You've got backpacks too. Great, come on up. Yeah, you can put it down. If you have a bag and you need a helper to bring it up for you, we could do that for you too. Oh, you've got a bear? Oh, good. Yeah. Well, some of us take books and homework and even bears in our bag, right? Some of us bring our lunches to school and to our workplace in bags. Some of you take computers to work in bags. Do you do that? And I imagine some of you at school use things like Chromebooks, and you put some of those in your bags. Yeah. Some children and families have bags that they take overnight from one household to the other. And how about knitters and crocheters? Are there any of those in the room? We carry those things that are beloved in our bags. Those things that help us live our lives. Those things that help us take the things we need to the places we are. And what I wonder is your bag completely full? Could it fit nothing else? Or do you think there might be space for one more thing? Raise your hand if you think there's a little space. Say that again? Okay. So I wonder, if you could imagine putting something else in your bag that wouldn't make it heavier, I imagine you would let me sneak it in a pocket. So I'm wondering if you might like a little bit of love. I'm going to pull some out of my pocket. Oh, there it is. There's some love. Can you open your bag? I'm going to throw some in. You can catch it. And do you have some love too? Put some in your hands. We're going to throw it in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. What else would you like for them to have in their bags? We've got love. How about hope? Okay, here's some hope. Ready? I'm going to do it up high. Oh, how about courage? Courage as you start this new year. Okay, ready? Is your bear going to catch it? Are you going to catch it? Okay, ready? Anything else? What else should they put in their bag? Patience. Courage. What? Confidence. I heard all sorts of things, and they're going together and saying some mixed up words. So tell me again. Dreams. That's what I heard. Okay, bunch all those up. Get it out of your pockets. One last throw. Ready? That was awesome. Sometimes when we get nervous and we go back to school or to work or even starting a new job, sometimes we need things in our pockets, things in our bags to be reminded so that we can feel brave and have courage and love and dreams and confidence, all those things. So I am so glad that you get to take that in your bag. And when you reach in tomorrow and you can feel your things in your bag, I want you to remember the squishy stuff that we put in there for you, the squishy stuff to make your heart feel good. I want you to know that the Spirit of life itself is with you at school and at work, and that this congregation cares about you. And if you ever need more love and courage, I want you to come, because I've always got a little bit more in my pocket. All right? Wonderful.
All right, we're going to give you a bag tag, and you can pick one out, and you can attach it to your bag to remember that it was blessed today by our congregation. All right?
And for those who couldn't hear that or might be at home, there is a bag tag that Michael Lukens made for everyone to put on their bag so that they can be remembered when they are at school. There you go. Can I show them one? It says, "You are smart, you are strong, you are brave, you are kind, and you are loved." This person who owns this wonderful bag has been blessed by Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation with a chalice. Those are great. Thank you.
All right, you all can go back to your seats.
Can't touch me now. Let's do the song.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to sing. I'm ready.
Good morning. I am not used to doing this much in a service, so everyone's just going to have to bear with me as we go through this. All right. To get started, I'd like to do a centering meditation. So I'd like for you all to get comfortable in your chairs. If you can, put both feet on the floor. I want you just to close your eyes or make soft eyes. And I want you to think about the bottom of your feet. And I want you to imagine that there's roots growing out from the bottom of your feet, through the soles of your feet, down through the floor, into the earth. I want you to feel the cool earth as your roots push deeper and deeper. Do you see the rocks? Do you see the bugs that are there? Keep pushing down into the earth. And then I just want you to sit there for just a minute and feel comfortable, feel peaceful. Now, look around and see some little balls of energy. And I want you to imagine those balls of energy coming up your roots, starting to fill your feet. Notice that your feet are feeling warm, comfortable. And as the light moves up into your legs and your lower body, you start to feel peace. And as it fills your chest cavity and your stomach cavity, there is a feeling of happiness, of joy, and of peace. And as it travels up your neck, into your head, sit with that peace. Feel strong, feel courageous. Now, I want you to imagine that those roots that are in the earth start to come back, coming back up through the cool earth. And as your roots are coming up, give thanks to Mother Earth for the joy, for the peace, for the warmth and happiness you're feeling. Imagine them coming back up through the floor into your feet. And now you're at peace. What a great song, and what a great morning this is. Today, we've had an opportunity to participate in Emerson's traditions, to grow roots here with our welcoming and our blessing of the bag ceremonies. You all participated in a meditation exercise that used our internal roots to gather joy and peace. And we heard a beautiful song by the choir about joining our voices together to give our message wings to the world, for which I owe a huge debt of gratitude to Kathy, the choir, and Bruce. They have worked for 3 weeks to make that song happen for this service. So thank you. So, roots and wings. What does that have to do with our children, youth, or ourselves in relationship to UU principles? On the front of your order of service, you will see a new logo designed to show the theme of our Family Ministries program. Grow your roots here, spread your wings out there. The concept of roots and wings is a great metaphor for the balance between fostering a strong sense of identity, our roots, while encouraging individual exploration and growth, our wings. This sense of balance identifies so well with the third UU principle, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. Today, I want to share my thoughts with you on how important that principle is and how, as adults in this congregation, we can encourage spiritual growth through intergenerational connectedness. Many of you may or may not know, I was raised in the Mormon Church. I grew up in a world where there was a famous saying there that resonates with many of that faith. Be in the world, but not of the world. It is a cry to develop an isolated community of interdependence while shutting out the world that is deemed evil and inappropriate. As UUs, this is not something that we hold to in our beliefs. We are strong at being out in the world, providing social justice service, and trying to make a difference. However isolating and exclusionary that saying is, it still promoted an intergenerational dependence that provided a sense of community and purpose. When I stopped being straight, like I ever had a choice, in other words, when I came out, that community shunned me. I was completely cut off from a world I had known for over 3 decades. From the time that my parents converted to Mormonism when I was 5 years old, I had grown strong roots, and I had learned to spread wings that were deemed acceptable. The simple act of shunning cut off my roots and snipped my wings, and I spent the next 5 years looking for a new place to grow spiritual roots, somewhere else. I investigated many religions across the world and found myself uncomfortable with any type of organized religion. As I studied these religions, their creeds, beliefs, and practices, I could not reconcile belonging to a group that would not accept me because all of them seemed to have anti-gay at the center. But as I studied paganism, its beliefs and practices resonated with my soul. Hence, I chose to become a solitary pagan practitioner. From that time forward, I did not attend a church except for the few odd events, and every time I showed up, the thunder rolled, lightning flashed, and you can make your own assumption on that one. So, anyway, about 1.5 years ago, my mother, for some reason, decided she wanted me to go to her Easter service. I was not really very excited about that. And she knew of my disdain for the Mormons and their church and the way they did things. But she persisted. She really wanted me to go. Still can't figure out why that was so important, but it was. So I evaluated my strength of conviction about how much I was going to avoid this service or not, and discovered that after 20 years, my loathing had turned to just a subtle disdain and dislike. So since it was so important to my mother, I finally gave in and I told her, okay. So I would go with her and take her to her service. But you know, over the next 2 weeks, I spent all my time planning the most sparkly, flamboyant outfit I could. Because trust me, they are suit and tie people, and I was not gonna do that. So the day came, I dutifully took my mother to church with my big sparkly brooch, patent leather shoes, and bright pocket squares with a tie. And as I walked in, I felt a sense of dread. And I was trying to figure out where was the nearest escape route, just in case I needed it. But my mother being who she is, she's one of the widows, and they all sit together in the front of the chapel in the second row, so guess where Michael ended up? So there was never going to be a graceful exit at this point. So as I sat there wishing this meeting would get started so I could get it over with, I began to watch this community of people going through their every Sunday rituals, the morning greetings with each other, the way they fawned over the ladies in the row, the group, the young people preparing the sacrament, and all the other little goings-ons that I was seeing. And I was struck by the sense of belonging and community that came from all of these acts. Each person, from the young to the old, had a place and a purpose. And I felt a little pain in my heart because it was familiar. It was something that I hadn't had for 20 years. So after service, I did make it out alive, I promise, standing here. I came home and I said to Douglas, hey, maybe we should look at going to a church. After I picked him up off the floor, he looked at me dazed and confused and said, why? So I tried to explain to him the feelings of missing community that strengthened each other through these traditions and daily rituals. And I also explained how I missed the connections that came from being part of something that's much bigger than myself. So he pulled up Emerson's website, and he showed me, and he said, I think this is the only place you are going to find acceptable. I saw the rainbow flag on the front of the church and thought, okay, we'll try this. So we decided to give it a try the next week. And I will never forget, as I drove into this parking lot at this church, my hands started to shake. They started to sweat. My mind started racing with questions like, what am I doing here? Can I actually walk into a church and it not fall down? So it took me about 5 minutes to get out of the car with a lot of encouragement from my husband. And it took one of the longest walks I've taken in a very long time. And as I arrived, Millie Fuller was in the foyer. And she looked at me and she said, I am glad you're here. Now, for some reason, her saying those words to me resonated, and I actually believed her. So, as Douglas and I walked into the sanctuary, I had every intention of sitting in that back row back there. But my introvert of a husband decided he was going to march to the front in the second row. See, I have this love-hate thing with second rows, I guess, I don't know. And we sat down. It would take months before I realized that my big fat bald head was being filmed and broadcast to the world every week from that perspective. So I'm going to tell you that a carefully coiffed chapeau can make a difference and hide a lot of sins. But as the weeks passed, Douglas and I felt so much more comfortable here and a part of this community. We would go home and say things like, I feel so comfortable being here. I feel like, what a great group of people. I feel like I belong. With that belonging came an opportunity for me to grow and continue to grow spiritual roots again in a spiritual community. And this time, they could be as sparkly as I wanted them to be. For our whole lives, whether we are children, teenagers, or adults, the shared rituals, traditions, and history of a community create a strong foundation. This foundation allows the opportunity for personal growth and expectations. Now, I'm going to kind of skip here because I don't want to take up too much time. All right. So as a congregation, we want our children to have happy and fulfilling lives as well. So it is important that we provide ways for our young people to explore new ideas and balance those with the traditions of history. As adults in the UU congregation, we are the ones that can help them with learning to find balance in those new ideas. We are the ones that can help them realize joy through their life experience. Now, I'm not sure if you've been down the RE hallway or not, but you might have noticed the bulletin boards have changed. There is a purpose to those changes, and one that I hope as adults in this community you will get involved with. The red bulletin board is a call to show us how each of our young people are living their UU principles every day. Each principle is listed on the board, and there are cards for the youth to write down the things they did during the week to live a principle. The instructions say, 1, write the action that they did, 2, which principle they think it applies to, and then bring it to my office, and you'll get a sucker. All right, I'll trade you candy for action. Now, I'm going to post those on the bulletin boards. As adults, when you talk with the kids and you hear them tell you something that they did during the week, encourage them to write it down and trade it for a sucker. And even better yet, you fill out the card and bring it for a sucker to my office as well. On the blue bulletin board, there are currently About Me profiles for some of the staff in the RE program. Watch this board throughout the year. Each class will put up a different display to show what they are learning about. Take time to talk with the kids about the bulletin board. Let them share their ideas and reinforce what they are learning. Next, you'll see the lime green bulletin board. Yes, I am not afraid of color. With a listing of famous UUs. Grab a youth and challenge them to a contest to see who can name the most people on that board. But don't peek until you've finished reading the clues, because under each of those clues is the person's name. The pink bulletin board is an opportunity for the RE program to highlight pictures of the kids in various activities that we do. Take time to talk with them and learn what they enjoy doing. Lastly, you will see bulletin boards next to each classroom. On these boards, we will be rotating About Me posts about the children in the program throughout the year. Take time to read these posts and learn about the young people in our program. When you see them in fellowship time, engage in gentle conversations about the things you saw on their posters, their interests, their favorite foods. It is through these types of simple acts that we help our young people grow and grow more roots in order to make lasting bonds with a community that will support them as they start to spread their wings. So, here's my challenge to you. As you sit and think about my words, which I hope I have given your heart pause to feel and your brain to think about how people in your past have helped you grow roots and spread wings. Then look around you and see the person sitting next to you, or in the hallway with the children, and help and make the decision to help them create strong roots here at Emerson, so that when they spread their wings and they can soar into the future that they hope to build for themselves. Thank you.
There was more to that story about me getting off of the floor, but we'll leave that for another day. Our closing hymn, y'all, is hymn number 1051 in the teal hymnal, We Are. Please rise as you are able.
We are our grandmother's breast, and we
The hymn we just sang is the last song in a suite that began with the lyric, Lord, it's midnight, a dark and fear-filled midnight. Lord, it's a midnight without stars. The lyricist wanted to create a complete circle of experience, and so she wrote, for each child that's born, a morning star rises. This phrase is meant to establish hope, and it defines the uniqueness of each one of us. No matter what our race, culture, or ethnicity, each one of us has been called into being and are the sum total of all who came before. In the composer's words, each and every one of us stands atop a lineage that has had at its core mothers and fathers and teachers and dreamers and shamans and healers and builders and warriors and thinkers and. So in spite of our uniqueness, we come from and share every experience that humankind has ever had. In this way, we are one. We hope you've been nourished in heart and mind today by our worship. As Natalie extinguishes our chalice, which I'll give her time to get up here because I didn't cue her. Please join me in the final words that are posted in the chat and in the order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment.
These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again.
Thank you, Natalie. So, there's lots going on this afternoon after this service. First off, I'd like to remind you that next week's message will be Mark Cobb talking about deep listening, and I think that's going to talk about our listening circles, so please join us for that. There will be no service reflections today. Instead, there will be an adult discussion concerning what's known as Cop City, otherwise officially known as the Atlanta Training Center. I forgot what, there you go, say that. So Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, that's what it's called. So anyway, I would ask, because there's a lot to cover during that meeting, that it please be in the sanctuary at 11:25 so that we can get started, because there's a lot that's going to happen on that. The children's and youth programs are listed in the order of service. And there will still be refreshments in the fellowship hall immediately after the service. Please go out that way so that we don't walk through the kitchen. Our service is now concluded, but our connection has only just begun. Go now in peace and take peace wherever you go.